Welcome to this week's episode of Crafting with me and
Tracey.
Yes, Tracey is our guest today again. She's a lovely guest. Yeah. What are we going to be making today, Tracey?
A fish.
Why are we going to be making a fish?
Because we are learning about the story of Jonah and the whale, or the fish.
Mm-hmm. And not just Jonah and the fish, but the entirety of his ministry to Nineveh and what the fish played in the bigger role in Jonah's life. So, we're going to start off with a paper bag. I ended up getting some paper bags from the grocery store next to the mushrooms because apparently it's very hard to find paper bags in this city. But I've heard that you can find some at Canadian Tire or Michael's would probably be a good place. But if not, go to your local grocery store, ask a produce man if you can have some of these paper bags, and he let me have them for free. So, would you like a mushroom bag or would you like a normal bag?
Whatever.
Choose. I'm also going to take a mushroom bag.
Okay.
All right. So to start off, you're going to open the bag. So now that you have your bag, you are going to take some plastic shopping bags, 3 or 4, and you're going to ball them up. That's only one, but I'll show you what to do with it. You're going to ball it up nice and tight. Get all the air out, and you're going to shove it into the bottom there. So now you take, like I said, 3 or 4. So here's another, and here's another. And this is going to form this body of your whale. All right, so now that you've gotten your bag, you're going to shove them down into the bottom and sort of pinch it around there and make sure all these, you want to open that up so it's open like that. So now you're going to take something round, so we're just going to use one of these paint bottles, and you're going to slide it into the opening. So you're going to slide it down to where the plastic bags are. It looks like this. Yeah. That's good. Now you're going to take a pipe cleaner and you're going to wrap it around on the outside. Tightly around, yeah.
The bottle?
The bottle. Yeah, this is going to be the mouth of your fish. Looks like it worked.
We'll go with that.
Okay, so now what you're going to do is you're very carefully going to take these top edges and fold them down very, watch me do it first. So you're going to fold it down, and then you're going to keep folding it down.
Toward the bottom?
Yeah, towards the bottom.
Follow you for all my days. Fix my eyes, follow in your ways. Forever free in unending grace.
Now you're going to pull out the paint bottle, and eventually you'll pull out these bags, but they're just going to stay in there now for support.
Oh, you take them out?
Yeah. Huh. Okay, and now you're going to bunch it up at the end into a point. Oh, if you could do that. Shape it around any shape that you want. And we are going to twist it and then glue it down. So I sort of lathered it with glue. So Tracey, what do you know about the story of Jonah?
Well, I know that Jonah was on a boat.
Do you know why he was on the boat?
Because he was trying to run away from God.
Yes.
And then there was a storm, and they didn't know how to fix it, and then Jonah was like, it's my fault, or whatever, and then he jumped off the boat because he knew that that was the way to stop the storm, and then the storm stopped, and then he got swallowed by a big fish, and then he lived in there for 3 days, and then lived in there for 3 days, and then the fish spit him out.
So, in your opinion, from what you know of the story, would you say that the fish was God's judgment on Jonah? or was it his saving of Jonah? Like, was God punishing Jonah by sending the fish and swallowing him up?
No.
He was saving Jonah, right?
Yeah.
Good, because that is what the fish was. When he was thrown into the sea, he cried out. There's actually a really cool prayer listed in Jonah where he cries out to God and he expresses his thankfulness. I'm just trying to hold this. Yeah, you can hold that. He expresses his thankfulness for God hearing his cries of distress. And he says that from when he's inside the fish. And so the fish was God's salvation towards Jonah. And what's actually cool is, do you know what happens after that? Like when he goes, after he's on shore?
No.
Okay. So when he's on shore, then he actually goes to the people he was running away from, which is a place called Nineveh. So the Ninevites are, it was the capital of Assyria, which was one of the Jews' biggest enemies in that day. And God had given Jonah a message for the Ninevites to repent, which means turn from their ways and turn back to God, or they would die within 40 days. So Jonah, after he got spat out of the fish, went and he spread this message. This is quite difficult. And the Ninevites, do you know what they did?
No.
They listened to Jonah and they returned to God. So God spared them and he showed them great mercy in not bringing upon the punishment that he had said he would bring upon them if they hadn't done that. So what's actually cool when you look at this story is that God showed Jonah mercy in his disobedience against him by listening to his cry in his distress and saving him by the fish. And so with the Ninevites, they were disobeying God, but they cried out to God, like Jonah did when he was in the ocean, and God had mercy on them, and he saved them from the punishment that was going to come. Do you know if Jonah liked what happened with the Ninevites turning back to God?
I feel it's gonna be no.
It's a no. Jonah did not like what had happened. He actually sulked up on a hill underneath a tree. Sulked. It means he was sad and just like really miserable.
Mm-hmm.
So he sulked under a tree and he complained at God for showing great mercy to the Ninevites. And so what was really interesting is that God showed Jonah this mercy in saving him through this whale. And fish, thank you for the correction. God showed Jonah this great mercy in saving him through the fish. But when God asked Jonah to go out and show mercy like he had been shown mercy, Jonah said no. Yeah. So what's actually interesting is the parallels we can also, or the connections that we can make between our lives now and the mercy that God's shown us through Jesus. So when we come to faith in Jesus, let's see, he's shown us a great mercy in saving us from our disobedience, right? You're distracted by me trying to figure out how to
kill my fish.
I am. I think it might be good. So we're gonna make some fins now, and we'll come back to the story a little bit later.
Okay.
All right. So you can cut your fins in any kind of way, shape, or form. How do you want your fins to look?
Can I cut it in half so they're the same?
Yes. You can also use these pencils to draw a shape.
Okay. Oh, it cuts so easy.
Does it? My cardboard was so hard to cut. So this is going to be the mouth. So make sure that your fins are all sort of like...
Same way? Or the right way?
Yeah, that's the mouth. Are you ready to paint your pieces?
I think so.
Okay. Then go ahead and choose a color.
Purple.
Just start lathering away. In order to speed up drying, I'm going to use a blow dryer, so you can as well. Let's see. Ooh.
The darkest night, let your love be the shining light, breaking chains that were holding me. You sent your sun down and set me free. Everything of this world will fade. I'm pressing on till I see your face. I will live that your will be done. I won't stop till your kingdom come.
So we're going to make a little Jonah for our little whale scene. We can use some of the foam, or we can use, glue my foam away, or we can use some cardstock.
Okay.
What do you want to use? Foam?
I'll use foam.
Okay. If you want, my Jonah's pretty simple. He's just sort of like a weird little star shape.
Can I trace him?
You can trace him.
How did you color him?
I painted him.
Oh!
Painted everything.
Aren't you a painter?
I'm really not.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know how to make brown.
Brown.
Maybe like, what about yellow mixed with some red? No, it makes orange, doesn't it?
Purple, yellow, and
Red?
yeah.
I just want to give him some like a nice. Oh, that's kind of brownish. Yeah, that looks good. That looks like a nice neutral color.
You know what? That works.
All right, let's glue those fins on. What size of eyeballs do you want?
Larger
now-
stick
Okay, now we're putting on the eyes, which are the final touches of this fish. Here are the biggest ones.
Well, okay.
I'll get this one ready for you too. Okay, and now I'll put on mine.
It's right hand I crinkle.
Blue.
I found another pink one.
You did? Right. Here, I'm gonna take this one off real fast. Thanks. Pink. Oh, that's creepy. And pink. Excellent. And once you got the eyes onto your fish, and once your fish has dried, you can take the bags out.
I kind of painted the bag.
That's okay.
What happens if it crinkles?
You know what? I guess we'll figure that out when it happens.
Well, I can feel it deflating. Wow, this is just bag on bag.
I love it. He's very
Maybe,
wonderful.
maybe I should just keep it like this.
Yes, you can also keep the bags in if you want to. That's what I did with my fish from home, and I just painted a piece of cardboard and stuck it inside the mouth.
I'm keeping it.
Okay, I'm gonna take mine out because I want to see what he looks like without it.
Should I put something in there?
Nope, that should be good.
Just keep it like that?
Yeah,
Okay.
and then you have
A beautiful
a
fish.
beautiful fish. Yeah, so when we learn about Jonah, I think the important thing to remember is that our God is a God of mercy, and He's shown us great mercy, by saving us through Jesus. And in response to this, he calls us to show mercy to those around us, just as he showed mercy to us. So he asks us and commands us to go out into the nations and to even those people who are our enemies and those people who we might not like, and share the good news of Jesus with them. Because God is a God of mercy, and he wants to show mercy to them as well by bringing them into a relationship with him too. So, as you go from here, remember the mercy that God's shown you, and show that same love towards those who you encounter everywhere, whether you get along with them or not. Don't be like Jonah.